welcome to Gary's channel.
Yeah. How are you doing? You alright?
GT Tarot.
GT Tarot. This is lesson number 2, or session 2?
Lesson 2. Lesson 2.
And we're going to do the major arcana.
Yeah, the major arcana. And before we start though, just a quick channel update. We've been pondering me doing some filling in videos on here, looking at things like politics, royalty, celebrity, just short 20 minutes or so readings, a couple of times a week.
Yeah, just to fill the content out a bit, because there's only so much I can do because I'm still working as well. So there's only so much I can do during the week. So Claire's going to fill in the gaps as be a special guest reader. So it's not going to take me away from my other channel, and we'll still do the Thursday breaking news on there, but we'll do extra subjects on here as well. But we won't do on there. And I also said as well, we can look at doing joint videos where we look at, you know, for example, the Netflix thing with Megan, and we can look at that jointly with cards. You don't have to pull cards on there if you don't want to. We can chat like we do the Natters on the other channel, but we'll do it at more tarot-y level on here. Yeah. So we'll do stuff like that as well. So this channel isn't just going to be one thing like the tarot lessons. It's going to be a range of things to do with tarot. Yeah. So you're going to do more stuff that interests you in the real world, as it were. Real world events and things. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be good. So the major arcana. If I'm looking down, I've got my notes. So today I spent ages. I've got sheet after sheet of notes that we're going to work through. So 22 cards in the major arcana. The major arcana, what it says on the tin, it's major. So it's the big stuff. It's the major things in our lives. And how tarot works is we've got the major arcana, which is like the Fool, the Magician, Empress, etc., Priestess. But in between that, there's all the other cards, like the Pages, the Knights, the Aces, the Pentacles, and all of that, which we're going to work through bit by bit. But if you think about the major arcana, the big things in your life, the big events, the big feelings and emotions, and the stuff in between is all the things that the Fool has to learn from and stumble upon and master. So in actual fact, the tarot is a story. And, you know, the major arcana could be a big event like a wedding or a new job or a new house, but it can also be internal. So if you get a client where they get, or a reading on like a reading on Trump, and you get lots of major arcana, it means there's something big going on. And it may not be something that we can see. It could be something that the client knows internally, a big shift that they've had, or maybe they're going through a big shadow purge or a big thing with addiction. So yes, what I've done is I've gone through each card in order of sequence, and I've written some bullet points. So I will be looking down throughout with this, but I will be expanding. So the first card we get in the tarot is the Fool, which is card number 0. And this is where the story starts. So you possibly have your own deck at this point. I'll keep it held up like this for a bit. I mean, I've got my own deck. So we've got the Fool. So it's the beginning. So the buzzwords for the Fool are new beginnings, taking risks, having faith, beginner's luck, and improvisation. So it's a new beginning. The Fool is required to take a leap of faith. Okay, he's possibly been pushed from something. He's been, I don't know, you're not playing with us type of card, you're not working here, or he's just thought, you know what, sod this, I'm going on an adventure. So he's got to take a leap of faith, because the truth is, be it starting a new job, going on a first date, moving into a house, getting married, it takes a leap of faith. And it takes a leap of faith because we don't know the outcome. And he's mindful, he's got his wand here, so that's his fire energy, and he's got his little red satchel here. And he's not going to take a lot with him. He's not going to take all of his baggage. He's also dressed up, he's flamboyant, he's proud. So it is like, if I can describe the Fool in real terms,
it would be your first day at work where you put your best clothes on and you get up early and you get your bus early and you get there and everything's fresh, everything's new. It's the first day of your holiday where you're travelling to your holiday. You get on the plane, you've got your holiday clothes on. It's your wedding day. He's dressed for the occasion. Okay? So you can read cards upright or reversed.
You just answered the question I was going to ask.
What?
I was going to ask that question.
So you can read cards upright or reversed. You don't have to, but it can give you more for your reading. But actually, so I can do this actually, and I know others that can do this where you don't need to do reverses if you don't want to. You can actually read. It's hard to explain, but you can depending on what cards are next to it. But say if you've got a client and they say to you, I don't know, pull me a spread on going for a new job, and you get the Fool in reverse like that. There could be a lot behind that depending on who the client is, the energies and the cards either side. It could be that actually they've got no self-belief. It could be that they're scared to move forward. It could be that there's a part of them not willing to make that leap of faith. It could be that they feel blocked. It could be that they're taking too much baggage in that little sack. It could be that they're not willing to take risks. They just want to stay safe. It could be that they feel as though they have no luck. They can't take a leap of faith, etc. So sit with your Fool card and look at it. And also with all cards, everything in the card, every picture, every symbolism means something. So he's got the earth. He's coming out of solid ground. So, for example, he's got the earth there beneath his feet. He's going to go off the earth. So the earth represents the grounding. I am solid. Some people will say, no, I'm not moving house because there's nothing wrong with this house. I've lived here all my life and I'm not moving. They will stay there, okay? Because they're not willing to make that leap of faith. And that's the Fool. And you can go online and you can Google the Fool further because there's so much you can say about each one of these cards, and it would be impossible to go into depth with it.
Like a little doggy.
The little doggy. I know, the little doggy. It's cute, isn't it? The little doggy, I mean, depending on the depictions that you get, it can be something that's trying to hold him back. Mm-hmm. It can be a companion that's going to go with him. Mm-hmm. Also, as well, the dog is it white on yours as well?
It's black on mine.
Are you sure? It looks white to me.
Yeah,
because yours is reflective. You see the white little doggy there?
It's hard to tell.
What does the white little doggy represent to you when you read it?
I don't know. It looks eager. Eager to come along the journey, I think. Maybe it's bringing your partner along.
So it could be bringing your partner along. See that?
Your companion.
Yeah.
It's all about a companionship.
Yeah. Also, as well, again, depending on what you're reading it for, it can, because some depictions show that dog where it's trying to get to his ankles, so holding him back. Like, when you get a little puppy that is a bit yappy, sometimes it can have that energy of get away from me, that type of thing. So again, it depends on it can also represent not being held back as well. So, put that there, so now I've done it. Let's tick it off. The next card is the Magician. And that is actually card number 1. So the Fool is 0 and the Magician comes in. So that's the Magician. And with the Magician card, he has all 4 elements. He has his fire, his wand, he has the air, his sword, he has the earth, his pentacle, and he has water for cups. Okay? And that is so he can use, because he's a magician, so he can use all of the elements to achieve something. Just like witches and wizards would have done, they would have worked with the elements. And he's got the infinity sign above his head, yeah? Which is endless. I am an infinite human being. I am an infinite energy. I can create infinitely. I am empowered, yeah? He got his little wand thing at the top. You see that there? I'm not sure what they call that, but that is to bring down his divine wisdom.
It's almost divine in stick, maybe.
So he brings down his divine wisdom. And here, the flowers here, it's almost like this is within your reach. And that's the thing about it. Anyway, you know, with the Fool as well, it's all within reach. And so many things within our life is within reach. This is also here, the flowers is already achieved. So if he comes in a reading, he's all about the manifester. He's all about using all the tools on the table to achieve something. So take this away from Pentacle, Swords, Water, etc. You know, this is you as an individual. You have everything within you to achieve something. To achieve something in your own way. And the buzzwords for magician is manifestation, personal power. Look how he's standing in his personal power. Balance between spiritual and material. So he's not too spiritual way, because if you get too spiritual, you actually can't manifest a lot of things, because you're just waiting for the divine time. I'm just waiting for the energies to align and then I'll do it. And actually, sometimes that is actually you BSing yourself. You have to understand that you're in the earthly realm as well. But if he comes in reverse, this can be misuse of power. It can be dark magic. It can be manipulation.
Illusion.
Yeah, illusion. You got it on there, haven't you?
Weakness. Yeah. Ineptitude.
Go on then, Gary. Take the floor. Weakness.
Yeah.
Ineptitude. I can't even say it. It is what it is.
It's basically all the opposites of the positives, isn't it? Yeah. Fairly.
The interesting thing with a couple of these major arcana is usually the reverse is the opposite, but in some of them it's a little bit, which I find very bizarre why they've done that. And I think it can be a little bit confusing for a reader. And I would say, and this may be a trigger, read them for how you read as a reader. Because I think way too many people get stuck on, nope, that card means that. And again, are you the magician? Because the magician will read those energies in his way. And this isn't about seeing what you want to see in the reading, because that's that. Okay? Magician in reverse is, I can't be asked today. I'm not going to do it. I'm not good enough. I've been let down in the past. Nobody loves me. Nobody's going to ever want me. It's when we're not using our power. We can either be not using it at all, or we can be yawning.
I'll be yawning, I'm sorry.
Oh, he's been working hard today, haven't you? Yeah. We've swapped roles today. I woke up shocking this morning, and now it's your turn.
I've dropped. I've got to admit, I've proper dropped.
We found this, haven't we? Right from day one, we kind of...
Yin and yang.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the magician. And then we go on to the high priestess. Card number 3, the high priestess. There you go. So, buzzwords: intuition, inner knowing, secrets, mystery, spiritual awakenings, subconscious mind, and feminine power. Again, a very, very interesting card, because the high priestess can be very illusionary. She can be about stepping into her power and spirituality, and about being able to balance her dark and her light. And her dark and her light being of support, not just ignoring her dark. And I just want to be, I'm just going to be a light worker, and I'm going to not look at this. If she does that, she's out of balance. And also as well, if she refuses to look at her light, she's also out of balance. So she's about finding the balance. But also as well, if you see the bottom of her dress, it's very sea-like. So there's hidden depths there. And again, your high priestess is all about what are you reading on. And it's also one of those that can be taken either way, I find. It can come up when there's secrets. It can come up in a reading when there's things that need to come up to the surface, where there's illusion. It can come up when someone's on a spiritual path. How I'd read it as a reader, where if it's like that, again, depending on what cards are around it, because that signifies something. It's spiritual awakening, etc. It's all the positives. But if she comes in reverse, you could be dealing with a narcissist. Okay, you could be dealing with someone that's in their ego. You can also be dealing with someone that has no self-belief. So again, this is where your intuition comes in. It's where your gut feeling comes into a reading. Yeah? And I think as well with the High Priestess card, it's about responsibility. And the responsibility of being a High Priestess. If you think about a High Priestess in spiritual terms, the things that a High Priestess has to do in order to be declared High Priestess is huge. So we then go on to card number 4, which is the Empress. So I'll hold it up there for you. So that's the Empress. New beginnings, creativity, motherhood, abundance, love, beauty, and nurturing. So the Empress, it's about the harvest. Can you see the corn, the wheat there? This can come up in so many ways. It can come up because the client has a hormone imbalance. It can come up for pregnancy. It can come up for mother issues. It can come up for mother wound for client and her mother or his mother, or you as a mother if the client is a mother. Again, it's a manifester. It's about making change. It's about nurturing something. Okay? So it could be, in real terms, it could be somebody's wanting to set up a business and they need guidance about how they can nurture their business. It can also be about self-care. It's about birth, obviously, but not just the birth of a baby. Okay? It can be the birth of a new business, a project. It's abundance as well, and it's self-worth. Keep forgetting to hold it up. Abundance and self-worth. If she comes in reverse, you could be dealing with toxic traits. You could be dealing with a lack of abundance. Some of these cards are very similar, I find, as well. You could be dealing with someone that doesn't want to make a move. You could be dealing with mother wound issues. Say, for example, somebody comes to you, and this always is a very dodgy question, is this? Again, with all these questions with clients, you don't have to answer them. You can say to a client, I'm not willing to go there. But if a client comes to you and says, I want to have a baby, am I ever going to get pregnant? You may get that in reverse, because you're not going to create something. You may get it upright, but there still could be like the devil card next to it. Now, the devil card could represent the pain of not being having a child. But because you're not going to give birth to a baby, you can give birth to something else. What else can you create? Again, it can come up, we've not got to the moon card yet, but it can come up with I've said about hormonal stuff and women's stuff, and so it could come if you've got a client going for a hysterectomy, that'll come up as well. Okay. And then take it off. Then we go, and it represents the mother as well. Then we get the Emperor. Did I do the buzzwords? I did do the buzzwords for that. So then we've got the Emperor comes after the Empress. So here he is. Emperor can represent the father. So leadership, responsibility, stability, order, father. So this is a card, and it could be about a boss, it could be about promotion, it could be about structure in your life, it could be about order. So say this card comes up and it's upright, and it could be about, you've got to a stage in your life where you're taking charge of your own destiny, things are feeling solid and grounded. If it comes in reverse, it could be that someone's actually misusing their power. So someone can come in and say, I've got a really toxic boss. He'll come in reverse. Because yes, you've got a boss, an emperor, but he's wielding his power in the wrong way. But he can also wield it in a weakened way as well. Do you know what I mean? It can be misuse of power. It can be imposter syndrome as well when it's in reverse. I've been shown, what's his name? Henry VII, the king that came after Richard III, yeah? where he was, I mean, they called Richard III the usurper, but they also called Richard VII the usurper. So that could be when he's getting crowned in that moment, there's that doubt, I'm not worthy of this isn't really mine. And Henry VII faced a lot of his life like that, a lot of his kingship, trying to prove himself. So it's someone that's trying to prove themselves a lot as well, because they know deep down it's not really theirs to have. It can also come up this as well, in reverse, when things aren't stable, where you're in a relationship that's not stable, or a job that's not stable, or a mindset that's not stable.
Interesting.
Bless you. That just came from nowhere. Are you enjoying this, Gary?
Yeah, no, it's just a lot of knowledge.
Yeah. It is
I
a lot.
just wanted to slow down a bit as well, because we're going quite fast.
See, this is what I mean, because when he does the editing of the videos and he says, hold the cards up as long as you can like that on the screen, you don't understand that when you start, it's... And I think sometimes with the comments as well, when we may talk a little faster, or we may... It's hard. It's hard to do it and to go into, what is it, the right brain, left brain type thing?
Everybody learns and listens to stuff differently though as well.
Yeah.
Some people like pictures, some people like people talking to them. Some people like to do it themselves. You know what I mean? Everybody learns differently. So.
If looking at it, something was flashing on the screen. But yes, so take a breather. We're going to go on to card number 6, which is the hierophant. Okay? The hierophant.
Is it not number 5? Well, it technically is 6, I suppose.
Yeah.
I forgot about 0.
That is the hierophant. So... buzzwords for the hierophant is tradition, conformity, institution, spiritual authority, religious beliefs, marriage commitment, and education. So this can come in for a whole host of things. This could be someone that's rebelling against the institution. This little card come up. It could be someone that is walking a religious life. It can also, a lot of our readers, I'll say to you when this comes up, it's the powers that were, as in, secret societies, etc. So it can be all of that type of stuff. It's schools, it's education. It's also about spiritual enlightenment as well. And education, physical education, the school, colleges, university, but also spiritual education. So this card can come in when there's life lessons, or when there's deeper learning, or when there's deeper teaching needed, if that makes sense. Yes? So when it comes in reverse, it could be an abuse of power. It could be someone's refusing to learn the lesson. It could be the lesson is blocked. Yeah, keep forgetting you've got your cards there.
Yeah.
It could even be a refusal to learn as well. It could also be misuse of power. So it could be misuse of religious power, misuse of power in the world, etc., etc., all of that type stuff. It can even be like a refusal of the call. So say if you're doing a reading spread on a politician and this card comes out like that, it's like, they're not stepping into their power properly, or they're misusing their power. Or it's that type of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then we're going to go on to the Lovers card, which I can't hold this up a long time because of the naked imagery on it. YouTube allow you to do that for a bit, but then they don't allow you to keep it up. So you have to remember that as well. So that's why I was...
finger over it.
I know, but then, when I used to do the roll reads a lot, and I used to do that, I used to get attacked in the comment. I did in the comment section because I was hiding part of the card, and I'd have to explain why. Readers that do it like that will sometimes put a little crystal over the bits.
Get some fig leaf and stick them on the cards.
Crazy. It is crazy. So I can't hold that up.
Yeah.
So the Lovers is buzzwords, choices, relationships, commitment, potential for deep soulful connections and healing. It's the Garden of Eden. So this can come up, with health. It can come up with relationships. It's about choice. I always find the Lovers card a strange card because there's so much more to it than what it is. Like the Lovers, you just, two naked people, you think, oh, it's about sex, but it's so much more than that. It's also about a relationship that is allowed to have the divine in. You can also take this higher and say it's about the connections that we all have with everybody, and are we going to allow the divine, the sun, to come in between that? Yeah. So if it comes in, I'll end that off. No, I have lined that off. If it comes upright, it's someone that is healing a relationship. It's someone that's making the right choices. It's someone that's going through a healing journey, either physical health or spiritual health. If it's in reverse, it can be a toxic relationship. It can be health issues. It can be lack of abundance, etc. It can be that a relationship is stuck. It can be that there's commitment phobia going on there as well. I don't want commitment, or somebody in that dynamic doesn't want commitment. Yeah.
Religious undertone in the card as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
You can't really tell on your card, but there's the Adam and Eve snake and apples.
Is it on yours?
You can see it a bit clearer on mine, the snake.
Yeah.
It's definitely a snake. It just looks like a vine on yours.
Well, there is religious, and there's also Masonic undertones in the cards as well. There is Masonic undertones, because I was reading about tarot this afternoon, and there was somebody there is Masonic undertones. And if you look at the High Priestess card? Every belief system we have has crossover. Every belief system that we have has crossover. So yeah, there is religious elements in here. There's Masonic elements in here. There's Kabbalistic elements. There's all kinds of elements in here. Which is why you get all the different cards of structures and powers that were, energy and all of that jazz.
It'd be interesting if there's another story in history to do with a snake, apples and two lovers, other than Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. If you think about the Adam and Eve story, about temptation as well, as humans, I mean, where's my lover's card? Here it is. The whole thing of...
there you go, it's all about choices.
Yeah, well, yeah, choices.
Eve had a choice.
Yeah.
She either took the apple or she didn't take the apple.
She stood it for me. Well, it's true, isn't it? It's what choices are you making in your life, and the choices and their consequences. About, So this is a couple, and let's say Eve goes out on a night out and she cheats on... Oh yeah, you see, you do forget, she cheats on Adam. It's a choice. So are your choices of the highest order, or are they underbelly choices? And the consequences of that. And the sun above it as well, highlighting the issues within your relationships and your connections. Let me tick it off. We then go on to card number 8. What?
No, I'll mention it when we're talking. It's just something I saw in the card.
Which is the chariot. So the chariot is there. You've all seen the chariot before. Yeah. So buzzwords is progress, ambition, action, achieving goals, strong will and overcoming challenges. It can also be about the red horse. What does the red horse mean? Let me know in the comments. I don't know why I said that. The black horse, the white horse pulling against each other. And that can represent your dark and your light. It's like good dog, bad dog. And human life is about those two dogs on your shoulder. You've got your good dog and your bad dog. Your good dog says, think about it, step back, don't have an argument. Your bad dog's going, tell her straight. And life is a constant balance. So you're having to balance your chariot. You're having to take charge of your destiny. It can represent a car. I mean, it did recently, was it the Mohammed Al-Fire read I did when it came out as the car? So upright, it's about going for it, it's about direction, it's about you're in charge of your life, you're in charge of your destiny, you're able to balance your light and your dark. Very similar to the others. In reverse, it's the opposite. It's you're not balancing your light and your dark, you're not in charge of your destiny. Misuse of power as well.
Yeah. Interesting. Mine looks more like one's male, one's female, but...
Does it?
One looks like it's got a cleavage and the other one doesn't.
What divine feminine and masculine?
There you go.
Wish you. So look at yours. Yeah.
The definition there, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
So that's your chariot. You know, so that can come up in a job interview. Or if you're thinking, I want a new job, what do you think I should do? And the chariot comes up, it's about, yeah, go for it. Take charge of your life. Stop having one horse pulling you, or sphinx or whatever, pulling, because sometimes it can be depicted as horses. Stop having it, run your life. It can come up like that when everybody else is, when everybody's pulling your strings. When your boss is in charge of you, where your parents are in charge of you, or partner's in charge of you, or everybody wants a piece of you, and everybody's running your show, and there's no time for you, it can come up like that. So, yeah, take charge. Chariot, now we're on to the strength. How many cards have we got left?
I think we're halfway through, aren't we? Like that. Don't know. There's a 13 in total, is there?
22.
22.
Then we go to your strength. Okay, so we've got inner power, gentle strength, self-control, positive attitude. So this is, you are able to do this. It's your strength card. It's using your strength in the right way. But it's, the reason why it's got the woman and the lion there is to, if the woman's on her own, she can be too whimsy. If the lion's on his own, he's too and he's masculine. So it's about balancing it. It's about finding balance. So for example, say you've got a neighbour issue. If it's just the lion may go round and rip, I don't know, Barry's head off, because Barry's always playing his music. So he'll go around and he'll rip his head off. If it's just the feminine, it's, I can't really do anything. It's that type of thing. But coming in together with the infinity sign, it's actually, I can control this without going too soft or without going too into my masculine, if that makes sense. It's gentle strength. It's being able to control. The feminine is able to control the lion. So this can come up if someone's going for a hospital appointment and they think it could be, if they're going for cancer tests, it could be, you've got to face this. You can't go in there all guns blazing, but neither can you avoid it. You've got to take a deep breath and face it. In reverse, it could be toxic. It could be not facing it. Again, it all is the cards around it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you feel that you understand the strength card?
I think so, yeah.
The earth as well, the fact that...
So the lion's a masculine analogy, and because obviously the tail makes it look like a...
Mine's got a tail on it.
Mine's got a tail on, but it's coming the other way, as if it's... to make him almost like he's masculine. But I suppose it's a male lion anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, he's got a mane.
Yeah.
Thinking about it's not a female lion, is it?
Yeah. And he's on the earth as well, so they're grounded as well. So it's all about grounding, not being toxic, not shouting our mouths off, but at the same time not just being passive aggressive, passive aggressive as well, that can come up. Or just being, I remember I've said this story a lot on my channel, when there used to be a family that came in when I was a dental nurse, and they were really cringe. When I say to you they were too nice, don't let that trigger you. I remember one of the girls I worked with said, there's some so-and-so coming in. I was like, oh God. And she was the same. And I said, is it just me? I says, can someone be too nice? And they really were. And it's almost like it's a fake smile. Hi. You kind of want to catch them when they're fuming. Do you know what I mean? So it can be that as well. Again, depends on what card you've got around you. So then we get the hermit coming in. Here he is. The deep thinker. And the hermit is another card that can be quite complex. So, buzzwords for hermit: inner guidance, introspection, solitude, seeking wisdom, taking time to reflect, and choosing the right path. So, his cloak is there as protection. It's about not putting all your stuff out there. So it's about not putting everything out on social media, what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're thinking. He's got his light that's gently guiding him. His light's not too out of reach that he can't reach it. He's taking small steps and he's thinking deeply as well. It can, you know, you can say about the cloak that it represents being cocoon. You know, not like I'm going to cocoon and not do something, but I'm trying to explain it and I can't get the words out.
Feeling protected.
Yeah, feeling protected. It's a time of solitude. Whereas the fool is all dressed up for a party. This is serious. This requires a certain type of energy, a certain type of structure.
Comfy clothes.
But he's got his wand as well, which is his fire, and he's got his light there. So he's not just meek and mild. It's, I've got my fire, so I can make a decision. It's not avoidance. If it's in reverse, it's avoidance. It's also got the snow there. Can you see that on your reflect? Yeah, you can. Yeah. The snow can be the winter. So it can be a time when there's not a lot happening in your client's life. So they're in the winter of their life. And I don't mean by old age. It could be there's not happening in my life at the minute, Claire. My job's, everything's frozen, everything is. Then they're in the winter. They've had their release, or, you know, if you think about the seasons, the autumn is about release. So they've gone through something. Your client's gone through something. Now they're in the winter. And they're having to recover and think deeply about what they want to do next. Comes in reverse, it could be they're not thinking deeply, or it could be that they're actually overthinking something. They're overthinking it. They're not using their wand, or they're just like freeze frame. They're not using their wand, they're not using their light, they're just freeze frame with it. Yeah?
Yep.
You know, this can come, say if you're doing a read on on a public figure, it could be, well, actually this is something private to them that we're not privy to. There's something here personal to them, or someone says to you, I mean, I don't really like when a client comes in and says, can you read on my other half? I always try and encourage them, well, let's look at you both, because you get a lot of that, where people want you to read on somebody else, and it's naughty, to be quite honest. It's, you know, this is private to them. It's something that we are not privy to. Okay? So, then we go into the Wheel of Fortune. Yes, the Wheel of Fortune is here. Change, new opportunities, adaptability and destiny. So this is fate. This is change coming in. It can come in really fast, it can come in steady. It's about being able to, it's like the wheel of life. It's you know, it's the wheel that we're all on, and it's about being able to flow with the wheel and change, and that we're not going to stay stuck. It's a new opportunity. It's a light bulb moment coming in. Yeah.
You've got all aspects around it. You've got angels, you've got people with swords, you've got a devil underneath.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. Being able to rewrite as well with your books, blank pages, your sword of truth. The serpent as well. And you've got your clouds around you as well. So, you know, when things come into change, there can be a lot of uncertainty. And people don't like change. Even people like myself that do like change, we can still get nervous with change. So it can be, you know, so you sat there minding your own business, and your husband comes in or your wife comes in and says, we're going to have to move. And you're like, oh, that's woof, the Wheel of Fortune has come in. But then there's this cloud around it, you know, why we're going to go away, and all of that. But you have to keep turning with the wheel. In reverse, it's the opposite. Reverses can also be as well is releasing that cycle. It's, like I said, go with your intuition. Go with your intuition with cards always. Have the book, and sessions like this. But don't go, right, the Wheel of Fortune, I've seen people do this. The Wheel of Fortune is, and they can't do it. They can't read it because straight away it's like, I can't, because they're going into the facts and figures.
My card.
In reverse, I don't want to move, I don't want to do this, I'm staying where I am, I'm stuck, etc.
Interesting.
It's also as well fated events. I said that they're fated, so it's a fated event. It's Wheel of Fortune. It's a fated event that's come in because there's something here to clear karmically with the justice card. Yes. So we've now got justice, which is fair outcome. What?
No.
What?
It's fine.
What?
It's fine.
What?
I was just trying to get you to slow down a bit.
This is what I mean. When we go, we go. Fair outcome, legal matters, taking responsibility of one's actions, making balanced decisions, and karmic clearing. Okay? So, she sits on her throne and her sword of truth goes up to the sky. Yes? So she's got her sword like that and she's using that to pull down her energy.
Can you decide whether it is a she or he?
It's a she.
It's definitely a she.
Yeah. So she's using it to pull down.
Sure. On mine, it's got an Adam's apple.
Well, on the Radiant Rider-Waite, Gary, it's a she. I was always taught it was a she.
Yeah.
So, well, it's
Looks
justice,
like
isn't
He-Man.
it? Wait a minute, the justice lady is a she.
Blind justice.
In the courts, it's a she, isn't she?
I suppose.
So he's got his nice. I'm going to say it's them they, right? It's them they.
Oh,
I've got their sword.
Maybe that's what it is. Look, he's got an
It's a them they.
He's got an Adam's apple.
It's a them they. Well, I was always taught it's she, but it's them they.
Yeah.
Got his sword, pulling down the energy, the wisdom, the air, okay? To make sure that their energy comes from the highest, their wisdom, their energy comes from the higher realms, yeah? In order to balance their life with the scales. So I'm going to bring down the energy, I'm going to bring down the wisdom to bring balance into my life.
Interesting.
So this comes up if clients are facing courts, divorces. It can come in with family issues when there's lots of karmic clearing. Because remember, it comes after the Wheel of Fortune, which is fate. So you're having to go through this to clear it. And remember as well with life, you only ever go through things to clear things. There's always something to learn. So especially with the bad stuff, because we can take the good stuff easier, can't we? A holiday that we go on that's meant to be karmic clearing is better than going through an illness or a death or a loss of a job. We're more accepting of that.
Yes.
Bless you. What?
Oh.
What?
Flying.
The thing is, when you do the shamanic work, they work really fast, the guides, because you get so used to working really fast that I find it hard not to now. So I do apologise.
Fine.
I need some water, but I'll keep going.
You want to pause?
Yeah.
Have a break. We're back. Do you enjoy your drink of water?
I do. Whew. Right. So we're going to be dealing with the hanged man, or the hanged them they. So this is your hanged man card. Yep. So
yeah, it's definitely a man.
Its buzzwords are surrender, sacrifice, letting go, reevaluating beliefs, patience, seeing things from a different perspective. Okay? And here is the hanged man. So another card that has many multiple meanings. So it's all about why it's come up in your reading. So it could be because you're feeling sacrificed, you're feeling left behind, you're feeling hung, like you're being hung out to dry. So say a client comes in and they're feeling persecuted for whatever reason, it'll come up for that. It can also, if you see his head's glowing, because that's the light bulb moment of you need to see something from a different perspective. You know, there's another view here, there's another person's opinion needed to be. I mean, the whole world could do with that Hanged Man card right now, because everyone thinks they're right and everybody else is wrong. So this is about bringing in balance. And actually, with the Hanged Man, sometimes we may need a little bit of this to wake us up, to actually accountability, for us to see our shadow and to see that we need to just calm down a bit, to take a breath. It could be like, when we were moving, we got this a lot, which is pause, 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 blocks, blocks, blocks. But it meant the blocks, which we were going through, but it was also about seeing things from a different perspective. Because I got really triggered with our house move, and I think you got triggered with it as well.
Just a little bit, yeah.
So a card as well can have multiple meanings in the reading. So it's not just about black or white. It can be, you know, you see things from a different perspective. But yeah, this is blocked because there's something here you've to learn. And actually, yeah, you do feel a bit like you're being sacrificed and persecuted because there's something to learn in that. Yeah. Reverse, and again, it's one of these fluid cards where it's all about how it comes up. I mean, say if it comes out reversed, it could be that someone just isn't willing to learn the lesson, that they're just the ultimate victim, everyone's against them, they're not getting the light bulb moments, and it's that person that comes to the party where everybody goes, oh God, I can't sit with her because she just goes on and on and on. On and on and on, it's unblocked. That's it. Okay, yo. And then we've got death. Because death isn't about the physical death. It can come up. It can come about death. But actually, death comes after the hanged man because it's like, oh, yes, rebirth. So it's death of the old and rebirth. Okay? So the buzzwords for the death card is major life transitions, endings, rebirth, and letting go and change. It's an interesting card as well because it depicts him on a horse, like literally going through the village and just stamping on people, doesn't it?
I don't know. Are they lying down for him though? They're worshipping him. The ones to the right look like they're worshipping him. Are they joining the change? Embracing the change, that's what I'm trying to get
embracing the change. If you
don't, some people that aren't, and they're going to get run over by the horse, and there's some people at the side that are actually embracing the change.
Yeah, can you see? So embrace the change.
And if you don't embrace it, you're going to lose your crown. You seen that? On mine, he's lost his crown. I don't know if you can see it. It's not very clear on yours.
Yeah,
but he's lost his crown. He's a king that's lost his crown.
Yeah, interesting.
If you look on mine, oh, I think you can just about see it. He's got a little crown that's on the floor. Your picture's not very clear. He's got robes, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Regal robes, and that's his crown there.
Yeah.
It's not coming very clear on.
The other Radiant Rider weight that I've got is like that. It's little dinky cards, and there was a bigger one that I used to have. I might have to go back to that one, but anyway.
Interesting.
And it's a fire card. It's fire energy. Can you see the fire, like the, you know when there's been like a bonfire at night?
It says water on mine.
I meant the sky, my love.
Eh?
The sky.
What do you mean?
The sky's got a fire tinge to it.
All right, sorry.
So when there's been like a... It's a Scorpio card, so it is water. Yeah, because it's Scorpio card. Yeah. But can you see the fire there? So the fire represents transformation.
It's not sort of fire on mine. It's like a blue sky on mine.
You've got the sun there on yours.
Yeah.
Mine's depicted like that. Okay. So most people will have this depiction of it here, the Radiant Rider weight deck.
Okay.
Mr. Arguing. Like yours is green there, but mine is
black.
Flag. Yeah, your flag's green on there, but my flag's black.
Hard to tell in this light. It's green in the. It's kind of green in this light. It's not very good for the light. These cards are mine. They're very reflective, aren't they?
But anyway, it is. Because the thing is, this is the problem with a lot of tarot cards at the minute, is they're all depicted very differently. They're all depicted very differently. So this is what I mean about, no, it means this, it means that. It's actually about going with the flow. So death is about death and rebirth. It's about transition. It's about letting go of the old and embracing the new. Because if you stay stuck, you'll die. And sometimes that's why people die. Because they've stayed stuck, they've lost their hope, they've lost their light. Okay, so... we're on to temperance next. What's your temperance?
Very similar.
It's similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got the temperance card there. Right, so buzzwords for temperance card is where is it? Balance, moderation, harmony in relationships, patience, adaptability, integrating different aspects of life. So when it's upright, it's about all of that. It's about balance, it's about moderation, it's temperance, it's harmony. The waters are flowing between the cups. They're able to expand their wings. They're able to access higher learning. They're in the cleansing waters, okay? We've got the earth elements there as well with the greenery and the sun in the background. They're able to walk a path, yeah? They've got their white cloak on, which is the cloak of purity. When it's in reverse, you're possibly dealing with an addict. Yeah? It's out of balance. Or you're dealing with someone that can't be patient. Yeah? Someone that's going into fear. Someone that's not balanced. Someone that's possibly a hothead. So they're not stepping into their water element. Also, as well in reverse, it could be that they're exhausted. Their cup runneth dry. Or the situation's out of balance. Yeah.
You okay? Slightly different. My son's got a crown in it on mine. I don't know why. Interesting.
It has, isn't it?
Oh. Strange.
Well, because there's a crown in enlightenment. Not like royal family crowning, but the crown. Because the crown represents the crown chakra.
Right, okay.
So there's enlightenment there. It could be the journey to enlightenment down that path.
Yeah.
And then we go into the devil card, and here he is, the devil.
Careful nakedness.
Oh God, yeah, forget about that. So devil, yep. Addiction, obsessive behaviour, feeling trapped or controlled, material desires, temptations, self-destruction, and a lack of personal power. So if it comes up upright, it's all of that. If it's in reverse, unlike the other ones, it's actually positive. It means you're releasing all of that. So say if somebody comes into you and they've started AA, they'll get that. They're not cured yet, but they've started to go into Alcoholics Anonymous, so they've started to clear. Somebody comes in and she's just started going to the gym. She's started overheating. She's got that. She's clearing it. Somebody coming out of a bad relationship, a toxic relationship, will have it reversed when it's like that. So again, it's so complicated, isn't it? Because some of these reverses are negative and some of it's... But when it's like that, you think the devil's in his power. That's how I remember it. So when he's like that, he's in his power. Yeah? He's upright, he's strong. When he's like that, we're letting go of him. So the devil can represent addictions, anger, resentful, codependency, unhappiness, depression, anxiety, anything that keeps you anchored. All the bad stuff in life, really. Yeah? And then because we're having a devil moment, we're going to go straight into a tower moment because we need to wake up. So we've got the tower comes in. So the tower is sudden change, crisis, disruption, revelation, liberation, and letting go of old patterns. Yeah. So, again, a complex meaning. So you will have to use your intuition with this one. I'm trying to think of an example for you. Someone's just woke up and they found out their kitchen's flooded. It's that, yeah. But a week's gone by and they're still really angry about their kitchen flooded and they've not even got a plumber sort or anything because they're so caught up in the pain. It's that. So there's been a big family argument, right? There's been a big family argument, all stuff's come up. Boom, family arguments come up. It's been a tower moment. But actually, 6 months later, they're still talking about it. Yeah. But again, it can also be about the release. It depends how you want to read as a reader. And I must say that as well, because a lot of people can get really let their egos run with them with tarot. No, you read like this. You read how you want to read. If you don't want to do reverses, I sometimes, I don't do reverses all the time. I prefer to read them all upright, to be honest, and then read it energetically like that, rather than going into the whys and wherefores of everything. So, we've had our clearing, but you see how the cards are telling a story? We've had our clearing moment, our shock, and now it's time to step into the star. We're getting there, Gary. So the star is...
Careful with that one again.
I know, you see how we forget. So the star card boop, 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 is hope, inspiration, healing, renewal, positive attitude, creativity, spiritual connection, and good health. So when it's upright, it's all of those. It's light codes, it's spiritual upgrades, it's balancing the waters of the body, the mind, the soul, it's your connection to source, it's I am enough and I have enough. When it's in reverse, it can be an attention seeker. It can be spotlight on me. It can be someone that doesn't feel I'm enough. It can be someone that hasn't been able to master the waters of their body. It can also come up when, especially women, are feeling insecure about their body. So if it comes up like that, it may be that she doesn't like her body or there's insecurities around that. And if you think about the star card, how she is, she's a woman that's without clothes on, out in the open air. So it's also about your vulnerabilities. Are you able to face your vulnerabilities? Or you don't want to face your vulnerabilities? You don't want to admit that you're vulnerable. Because I can't admit I'm vulnerable because I'll be judged for it. Yeah. So if somebody comes to you and says, I'm going in for tests for whatever, and they get the star card upright, you can say, bear in mind that timeline's considered that actually, whatever the news, I'd say for that, whatever the news is, you're able to face it and actually come through it. Because if you say you've not got cancer and they have, it could be you've not got cancer that's going to kill you. You've got cancer, but you're able to negate it, yeah? Or you've got cancer, but you're able to get into your stars. And actually having the cancer will actually make you take better thing of your health. So if you go, no, you've not got cancer because you've got your star card, you're in trouble. Yeah, so be careful what you say. Because we live in a world where things can be taken very literal. And it is what it is. And then we've got the moon coming in. The moon card. So the moon, subconscious, lack of knowledge, journey to higher consciousness. What is that? I cannot read what I've put. Impact about. I have no idea. And a shadow. Ignore the list. Shadow. Again, another card that can read any way, depending on what you've got. You're right.
Mention of help you out. But...
Hello? Untamed. I don't know. The moon is about our shadow, our internal world, the undersurface, the things that we don't want to look at, the illusion of our life. And the moon is a card you'll never be able to make sense of because it's the moon, it's illusionary. So if it comes up in a reading, especially if it's got the high priestess there. So say if a client comes to you and they say, I think someone's cheating on me, and you get the high priestess, you get the moon, and you get the 3 of cups, which is the 3 women, which I always say it's the 3. It reminds me of Diana, that, as in there's 3 in our marriage. So if I'm doing that type of a reading for a client, that'll come up if there's an affair going on. Not always if there's an affair going on, but if that question's being asked. So that's when you'd say, well, actually, there is an illusion here, so trust your intuition, because we've got the 3 women, there's other people involved in this. And even that could also be the 3 of Pentacles that comes in as well. So you see how the illusion can come in, but you can also have a client that comes in that's having hormonal issues, cycle issues, pregnancy issues, shadow issues, or they're going through a shadow phase. There's a lot of illusion in their life. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then we've got the sun coming in. What?
I'm just laughing at the little boy on the horse.
I know, it's an odd card, isn't it? Joy, happiness, optimism, abundance and fulfilment. This is what it says on the tin. I mean, it can indicate pregnancy with the little boy on the horse. It's about joyful. It's your spring day where everything feels fresh. The astrology is aligned. Your astrology is aligned. The world feels great. You've got your bulbs and you're planting in your garden. Everything feels new. It's the summer day on holiday where it's your first day on your holiday and all your clothes are fresh. It's great news. It's happy times. It's celebration. It's joy. If it's in reverse, you're dealing with somebody with depression. You're dealing with heavier energies. You're dealing with someone that refuses to see their joy or doesn't feel they're worthy. Yeah. If you think, what does the sun represent? Happiness. And that's a very simple card. So say if a client comes in and it's a health thing and they get, the moon card, but then they get the sun, it's like, you'll be unsure, there'll be a time where you're not sure of what the outcome is, but actually eventually you'll get your sun moment. Yeah. And then we go into judgment. You just have to just hold that up for a bit there for you. So judgment is past needs confronting, crucial decisions, spiritual awakening, karmic reckoning and exposure. Again, am I clearing karma? Am I not? Things coming out. So you could be going for a reading because you've just let something out of the bag and you're wanting to have guidance going forward. So you come in and it's like something's come out, something's been exposed here, and you're like, yeah, I know what that is, that kind of thing. Or it could be that you're feeling exposed and vulnerable. Or it could be that you've just found out lots of stuff in your family and you don't know what to do with it. The skeleton's coming out of the closet. Yeah. Also as well, spiritual awakening, having to get everything out there so it can be cleared. If you see the fog there and the mist, it needs to be cleared. So this has to happen for you to find clearance.
It's a reckoning.
Yes, it's got to happen. Because then we come to the final major arcana, which is the world.
The world.
And the world is accomplishment. So he's gone through his cycle as the Fool. Unity, spiritual wisdom, embracing joy in life and breaking old cycles. So now if you go back, I know, see what I mean? So now if you go back to the Fool, and I said about each is the story, and all the other cards that we've not got here are all the other bits. It's about him taking a leap of faith and him getting to this. Now he may get to this where he actually can't because it comes in reverse. So he's not breaking cycles, he's repeating cycles. And that's fine, he's on repeat. And the Fool can be on repeat. We can be on repeat. Or you go in reverse with the World because actually you're not ready yet to break that cycle. You're not ready to walk away from something. And that's fine. But that's how the tarot is a story.
Very good.
And all through that you get your aces, which is like your truths, you're planting new seeds and all of that.
You're going too far now. Let's we've had 22 cards. Let's let it all sink in.
I'm just trying to make it make sense. I'm just trying to let it make sense of how it all fits in. That the major arcana is a story.
Yeah.
Because people will be thinking, well, how is it a story when there's none of the other cards? How do the other cards fit in? I'm just trying to say that briefly.
This is the skeleton, and the other cards are the meat on the skeleton.
Could it be the other way around? These are the meat. I don't know, anyway.
Well, the skeleton's a structure, isn't it? These have got to be the structure that runs through it all.
Yeah, so that's it. That's your major arcana. And I'll say it again, don't be scared of it. The more you do it, the more confident you'll be. It's interesting because when you Google tarot, it's referred to as a tarot game.
Game of life.
Well, yeah, game of life, yeah. But it's down as like a board game as well, and it's not really board.
Like Jumanji.
Well, yeah, I suppose it actually, apparently originally it was a game. It was a game.
Well, it's very similar to a pack of cards.
Yeah. And it's a fascinating game. And that's it. So I'm not sure what we're going to do with the next one. I won't start.
It's only a game, so you better believe.
Well, that's it.
Right.
It's only a game. We do take life too serious, don't we, Gary?
Yeah.
We do take life too seriously, and actually, the very fact that it's down as a game is that it's the game of, like you said, the game of life. That you don't take it all so seriously. No. Go with the flow. Be the
Never do.
Put a little card for this session.
Here we go.
Oh God.
Go on, you pull one and I'll pull one.
What?
What's tonight gonna go?
How is this session gone? Ooh, I'm scared. Glaring. But we've got the hierophant at the bottom. What have you got? The moon illusion.
Oh dear.
I think as well, because I don't like teaching stuff.
I got the tower as well.
Not that I don't like spreading information, but I always feel a bit... I prefer to sit here and do a tarot reading and teach it, which is why I don't do any type of teaching stuff at the minute. So that's the shadow of it. And also as well, when people are watching, you can get overwhelmed with it. I remember first learning about tarot and it was like, oh my God.
It is overwhelming.
But this is the shock and the clearing. You've got to clear that. You've got to clear that. Sometimes you'll get a reading wrong, or sometimes you'll misinterpret it, or sometimes, you can't read on some subjects or some people. Don't let the naysayers, don't let the people that hold you back, and don't let tarot hold you back. Your cards will work with you your way. Anyway.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I'm tired now. I'm going to go read a book. We've done a lot of content for me in the past couple of days.
Yep. The lesson, what's the saying?
What?
This lesson is over for now.
So this is lesson 2. If you're coming in at any other point, if you think, wonder where all the other lessons are, there will be, depending on when you come in to watch this, in the playlist tarot course.
We're in Amazon Prime zone. There's one a week.
Yes, there's one a week. And
we're not dropping them all like Netflix in one go. It's one a week until they're all there.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how many there'll be.
No. There'll be as many as there needs to be.
How many, one a week. So we can catch up there. And thank you. If you enjoyed this video, please do
subscribe.
Like, comment, share and subscribe, and put in it, if you want to comment but not sure what to put, but you want to help the channel to grow, put a crystal ball emoji in the comment section.
Yes. I'll just, any comment, any like, anything, anything. Bags of cash, jewellery, watches, anything you want to send. Anything. Slaps on faces.
Anyway, we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much for watching.
Bye.
Bye.